My name's Addie Gaddis. I'm the property manager of the Fairfield County Infirmary. When this place was first built, it was pretty much just a county home. They pretty much took anyone in, adults and kids. Between 1828 and 1886, it also served as the orphanage for the town. Throughout the time as a county home, people were sent here if they had nowhere to go. If their women whose husbands had died, they were sent here. People could just drop their children off here. Anyone who had any type of mental illness could just be dropped off. A lot of times when the people that would die here, they didn't have any family, so they were buried in the cemetery out back. Gorsuch Realty tried to buy the property, and they had to do ground penetrating radar because they were wanting to dig in the back and build a building out there. They found dots all across the back and all down the front, and they didn't know what it was at first. And then they changed the angle and realized that the bodies are standing up out there. So a lot of people say that when you're buried, you're laid to rest. So in a sense, these people here aren't actually at rest because they're standing.
These locations have been here before us and they'll be here after us, and we have a very short time of investigating them. And to make it your story, dig in that short amount of time and see what happens. And I'm actually very impressed with what's happened, what you guys were able to do in this amount of time. Just that evidence. I had said to you, what would have happened had you come here a week before or even a week after? But what happened now is your unique moment in time, and to tell the story, to tell about the people that are unknown, the forgotten, you know, and in that short amount of time, you have something very good.
Have you seen our documentary?
No.
That's what we're naming the documentary.
How did you come up with that word?
What did I say?
Forgotten. It was literally the last word you said, and we all looked at each other.
Well, because I'm fucking spitting. I'm fucking this motherfucker spitting. I don't know, so I guess I hit it. That's actually badass. What are you calling it? The
Fairfield County Infirmary, the Forgotten.
My name is Adam Kimmel. I'm the owner of the Fairfield County Infirmary out here in Lancaster, Ohio. And right now we're on the ground floor. It's been modified by the county, so it looks a little more friendly than it used to be. Although, just on this floor alone, that makes me very uncomfortable, we have the morgue, where countless bodies would have been stored, especially during winter time. And just back behind us, we have a funeral parlor. This place was so much hustle and bustle at the turn of the century that they would host their own funerals. There are two things that are very interesting about this location compared to many others that I've visited. There is actually an active stream that runs underneath this building. And that to me is some kind of odd power source that fuels the haunting. On top of that, there's 4 acres behind us that actually includes a cemetery. We know there are 1,200 bodies buried back there, but even past that, we've heard that there may be another 1,600. There was a developer that tried to purchase the property before I did. When he did ground penetrating radar, they found dots in the yard out there. It took them a while to figure it out, but what they realized was those dots were the skulls being pinged. The dead have been buried standing upright. Now I know this is gonna sound a little cliche, but it's almost like the dead are not at rest. There are no markers out there, no tombs, no names to even say anything about them. I think that contributes to the haunting we're dealing with here. Right now we're standing in the morgue. This was your final destination if you passed away in this structure, and until recently I learned this was also the city morgue. So not only were they taking the residents, but people also from Lancaster. Right here you have 2 troughs, and just by looking at them right away you can tell bodies would have been laying in here. Active water still runs through. You can see how it would drain all the way here down into a pipe. I did hear a very fascinating report. It's just from locals talking about what their grandparents remembered. But back in the 20s, the mortician would be back in this room here, and they would drain the fluids down into the pipe right there. Well, what was basically happening was when they were draining the formaldehyde and all these other fluids, it was actually getting into the local water supply, and it was poisoning several people in the area, including people in this structure. So it was a huge backlash of what was going on. because not only was that happening through this drain, the bodies that had formaldehyde in that hill, the formaldehyde was draining through there and also getting a double wham of it. You have 2 giant freezers here behind us. Now it can be speculated. I've heard people say that this freezer right here was for children because of the smaller slabs, and adults would be put over here. And when I do say children, yes, at the turn of the century, there was actually a nursery here, children that were displaced. I had actually heard one story of a guy who showed up here when he was 80. The health department was running at this time, and he just walked in and said, I want to see where I grew up. And they're confused, like, what are you talking about? And he said, oh yeah, until the age of 10, I lived here. And then I was finally adopted, but I didn't really get to go outside, and I can tell you everything about this building. So what is eerie about this, and why I think this entire floor is just very uncomfortable, is you do have that final destination, a lot of death. That's what this entire floor feels like, just it's riddled in death. I can't imagine how many bodies came through here, along with the loved ones being just maybe 300 feet away, the funeral parlor, their last viewing and everything. All that energy is stained here. That's what's wrong about this floor. Right now we're standing in the women's ward, and just past us down the hallway would have been the men's ward. At the turn of the century, this was a full-blown infirmary where they would separate the sexes. Just right here is another jail cell you can see here that is the women's. Now looking at it first, it doesn't really make sense. When you look at all these rooms, there's only one jail cell at the very end, and there were rules set up here. If you violated any of these rules, such as alcoholism, if you weren't cleanly, if you were actually talking to the opposite sex, you could find yourself landed in one of these rooms for up to 24 hours. More like isolation, if you will. After 24 hours, if you did cooperate and you respected the rules, you could go back to your room. If not, your next destination would be upstairs to the dungeon, where they would hook you to the wall indefinitely. And the only reason I say that is newspaper articles show that people were up there, but we don't really know what happened to them afterwards. If these people didn't have family members and want to check up on them, they would probably unfortunately end up being the unknown graves out back.
So this was a 24-hour thing, was that correct?
24 hours, that's what the articles say, 24 hours, but who knows actually really how it did go down. What is interesting about this jail cell in this specific room was I was filming back in 2018, and right before we walked in, this guy pulls in through the drive, and he's like, oh, I gotta tell you guys something about this. And literally, it's odd that this is all happening. And we're like, what? And he goes, I just want you to know that when the health department was here, I was working here between 2000 and 2004, and there's a room up on the 3rd floor. You'll see a jail cell. I'm like, yeah, I saw it. And he goes, yeah, well, we used to keep 10 to 14 mentally ill patients in there. And I would come to work and there would just be constant screaming. And what blew my mind was this is 2000. That was just 20 years ago, right? That we were still doing that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. There is one superintendent that sticks out over all of these years. His last name was Hummel. And there are newspaper articles basically talking about the town wanting to get rid of this guy, simply because when they would drive past on 37 here, they would literally see him beating the residents. Multiple occasions this was seen, that people were like, dude, this guy's a tyrant, he's a dictator, get rid of him. It's pretty bad when the town says that, right? On one incident though, he actually had one of the inmates come out and take a shovel to the back of his head, almost killed him. Now, was it planned or not? I don't know, but some of the other inmates, residents, said they had heard this, the one that attacked him, basically for days before that, saying, I'm thirsty for blood, I want to kill. I'm thirsty for blood, I want to kill. Nobody took it seriously until Hummel's almost dead out there in the front. Although, that sets the tone. If that's what's happening on the outside of the building, you can only imagine what's happening behind closed walls and doors.
Most definitely.
Human nature is always a problem. You're always going to get people that want to abuse that kind of power, or they want to have dominion over others. And unfortunately, you see it in institutions like this. Who's going to speak for these people? Are you really going to trust a resident or inmate saying, you know, I'm being sexually assaulted, I'm being abused daily? You know what I mean? Are you going to trust the doctors or the people in charge, the superintendent? Unfortunately, you're usually going to go with the authorities. It's an abuse of power. We're going to see that constantly in human nature. It's never going to end. We have to face it and try to stop it if we can. But I think from a paranormal aspect, that energy is still here. You know, if someone is that way in life, they're going to be that way in death. It doesn't stop. You know what I mean? When someone dies, they don't suddenly become a good person. Think of Charles Manson. He died, right? He didn't suddenly become a great person.
Wow.
He's going to be something that will terrorize us on the other side. If Hummel is still here, and I have a suspicion he may be, he's going to probably be one of the most malevolent spirits here. If you get anything commanding on EVP or any of the devices, it's probably him, because I really do believe he still thinks he's in charge of this place. Did you see something down there?
No, but I just heard a really loud knock or bang back there.
Someone's been grabbing my attention back there. I thought I saw movement back there, but when you said something or you did that turn there, dude, I don't know, the vibe changed.
It did, dude.
Dude, it did.
I'm telling you.
It's that heavy.
Yes, the
Sounds from earlier.
vibe. The vibe feels like it's changed. You know, it's crazy as we were just talking on there, like the footsteps, almost like it was trying to lead us up here. And where we are right now is what I would consider to be the epicenter of a haunting. If it was happening here, it's here. This is the dungeon. Now, normally you think of dungeons in the basement, but it is historically marked as dungeon up here. This is where transients, if you didn't have a place to stay in Lancaster, you could stay up here, but you were going to work for your stay. And I can only imagine across these walls, if anything, maybe you had some mats. I'm sure the water conditions weren't that good. And even today, yes, it's a little cold, but in the summer, this place bakes like a sauna. The conditions would have been terrible. Just around the corner, you have hooks in the wall where I was telling you they would chain people up indefinitely. So not only are you staying here to work your way through, you would have people screaming on the wall right over there.
Fairfield County Infirmary is a very large place, first and foremost. It's very easy to get lost in this building, and there were some places that I was definitely a little concerned-ish with, like it just had that creep factor, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad we do have the opportunity to do the walkthroughs, because we would have got lost otherwise, and there was times where we did get lost. But, you know, Adam was great with the walkthrough. He told us, you know, some hot spots, some things to look for. The fact that he mentioned the building changing at night was huge, because when I first heard that, and I'm sure we all heard it and was like, okay, you know, whatever. I mean, it's a fact. So, definitely a cool place to be at.
The walkthrough was very informative. Adam Kimmel and Addie know and love the building. And it's always great to have a walkthrough with people that love the building that you're going through, because they legitimately care and they want the building story told and the past souls that were here story told. So I really enjoyed the walkthrough. It was probably one of the better walkthroughs we've had in the last 3 years.
We're getting set up right now. We're on the second floor jail cell. We're gonna have Wyatt do the Estes method, and the three of us are going to try to connect energy and possibly with what's up here. And
We've already had it come up and kind of show up. Like I said, it was ugly side. It was.
in the middle of setting up, and there was a growl.
I wasn't a brown. I was scared as shit.
Will this get louder if I run it through there?
Might need to. Opening a door. What are you doing?
we're trying to communicate.
After I say we are trying to communicate, we catch a disembodied voice through the camera mic in which I believe says, "I exist."
We're trying to communicate. We're trying to communicate. Where are you?
Away. It was like a hiss.
Bro, that's crazy. I had this weird urge to like look out in the hallway, and there was something standing on the other side of the camera.
Really?
It scared the crap out of me.
What was it? Just like
It was a
shadow?
dark. It was a dark mass standing there, like on the left side of the camera.
You'll see.
It was like almost gray though. Alright, now I just had an overwhelming, uncomfortable feeling.
I'm in the back.
Nah, I'm extremely uncomfortable.
In the back where?
Upstairs.
Which floor are you on?
Who are you?
My name is Matt. Who are you?
Might have been, what are you doing? Good afternoon. What was that?
Started feeling the pulse on the table.
Mm-hmm. It stopped waving though.
Up there, I'll break away.
The door is open. You can go as you please.
If you believe, I'm leaving.
We're just trying to communicate.
Danger is imminent.
Oh, there goes the chills.
Why are they here?
At this point in our investigation, we believe we may be making contact with the superintendent, Hummel.
If Hummel is still here, and I have a suspicion he may be, he's going to probably be one of the most malevolent spirits here. If you get anything commanding on EVP or any of the devices, it's probably him, because I really do believe he still thinks he's in charge of this place. A word of advice. Leave now. That gave me chills.
We're not gonna leave.
Shut down everything.
What happens if we don't?
Ooh, that was weird. I'm coming. I'm coming too.
Is that mine?
I'm playing with you.
Can you try to use some of your energy to knock over that lamp that's sitting right next to that device?
Somebody's coming. Exactly.
We're playing games.
Something about Jesus and there are thousands of people.
A fucking room.
13. 313. Are you the gray one? I can't even walk up to it right now.
Well,
Only you stay. Make sure they continue that.
What is it with this room?
There you go again. They're coming.
It seemed, like I said earlier, Adam was very, very intrigued. Like his eyes didn't leave this room.
I was the same way, and even the whole time we're sitting there, I don't know what it is. I wonder if did someone get killed in this room?
Bro,
Oh my God.
you already know exactly. You know exactly.
Oh my God. I know.
Can you tell him? Not you. Are you able to tell him the numbers of that makes?
You really need to.
Laughing.
Rubbit says it. I'm running. I'm gone.
Get ready.
Or ready?
Seconds.
I thought it was no.
Careful now. We're playing. Come over here.
Where are you?
Yeah, where we need to come.
I've got chills.
Something about a window. Move down.
I wonder if it's talking about that window. That window.
No, you come to us.
Right there.
Oh my God.
Right there.
No.
I'm inside.
The investigation felt pretty normal, I guess. Like, you know, we got some audio response, we heard some noises. Thankfully, it wasn't just completely dead. I mean, we had activity, and like I said, our goal was to try to figure out how we were going to move forward. What are we trying to determine based on, you know, the activity and the responses that we're getting at the time. So I was more than pleased with day one and night one.
I like the first night. I think it kind of set the tone for everything else to come. I think it took our expectations down for some people, up for others. You know, it definitely took mine up, just because the last one we did with Randolph County, it was really calm. And as soon as the sun went down, this one wasn't nearly as calm.
What's up, bud?
What's up?
How'd you sleep?
Like shit. I got like 3 hours.
It's pretty good, bro.
Yeah, everyone was asleep. I kept hearing like something run. Something ran up there and knocked on their door at like 6 o'clock this morning. So
Yeah, I think I heard that as well. That's pretty awesome.
it's pretty dope. I think I finally fell asleep like 6:30.
I slept pretty fucking awful. Cold. Well, I wasn't cold until like I woke up and my sleeping bag was off of me.
Yeah, it was. But it's supposed. It's supposed to be colder on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So.
But what'd you think about how last night went? Like, obviously we're gonna do interviews and stuff, but
I think last night was pretty good. Like, we didn't do, I think, as much investigating as we wanted. We were also all pretty tired, but I think it's kind of a good segue into what's going to happen today.
Definitely.
I'm excited. We got some experiments to do with Jeff Fent and Adam Kimmel, so.
I'm gonna go see what these fuckheads are doing.
Can I come with you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit, White's cleaning his vape.
Cleaning his vape.
Good morning.
What's up, ladies? What's up, beautiful? What's up, beautiful?
There's Terry.
What are you doing, buddy? Just another day at the Ramada.
How'd you sleep, bud?
Not great, but. Did you hear the knocks last night?
You was out.
I heard you snoring.
Look at that hair. Take it off. Take it off.
My hair's plugged up in the morning. Don't kiss my ass.
Oh man. How'd you sleep, Terry?
Ask me in 20.
No, I'm asking you now.
It was alright. This cot's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. What y'all think about last night, our first night here?
I enjoyed it, man. It was a long day, getting up early driving, and then trying to figure out how we're setting shit up, and then do some investigating. And I'm extremely tired, and we have 3 more days.
Yeah.
But that's okay. All in the name of paranormal. You guys are the worst.
I was just cleaning my vape, dude. What's wrong?
so it is daytime. It's a little bit dark in here just because there's not much natural light coming in, but
Kind of in a weird spot of the hallway. You won't be able to see the windows, yeah.
we're kind of getting things set up and kind of taking some stuff down at the same time, and heard some noises going on in here. I think the guys are going to be out here in just a second, but kind of just want to see what happens here in the daytime versus at night. Who were we communicating with last night when we were down here?
I thought I heard a response there. Can you say that again? Who were we communicating with? Hummel. It said it twice. You can review your footage. The very first time I thought it said Hummel and you were talking, and I asked it again and it said it again.
Was he the aggressive spirit upstairs?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Who are we talking with now?
I'm more curious to know who the female spirit was that came through a lot as we were doing our interviews.
What was that female spirit's name?
Kate?
This is.
That's what it sounded like. We'll have to review that to know what it said, but there's a lot going on right there.
I don't know what that second thing was, but that gave me chills.
Is she here now? No, she's not.
Where is she?
We're gonna turn this thing off. Do you have anything else you need to say?
Just real quick, I want to see what happens. I have this device in my hand. You can come through and talk to us through this device. Putting recorder down. Hummel, are you down here with us? Or the female that came through, is your name in fact Kate?
What time is it, Kate?
442.
4:42 on a Wednesday.
Still prime operating hours.
Mr. Hummel, can you come down here and talk with us for a minute? Can you say your name into this or tell us to get out or whatever you have to say?
I know this floor was kind of your sleeping quarters. So in reality, you should be down here right about this time. Oh, REM pod just went off.
Right behind him.
Was that you? Can you do that again? What was that? Bro, I know I didn't get the time right, but it sounds like it says 4:15.
It does sound like something right there, like
Yeah.
It does kind of sound like 4:15. Yeah.
Mr. Hummel, can you come down here and talk with us for a minute? Can you say...
What about the REM pod just going off and stopping?
Yeah, we just ignored that.
Or the female that came through, is your name in fact Kate? So after he asked the time.
Four 15.
Mr. Hummel, can you come down here and talk with us for a minute? Can you say your name into this or tell us to get out or whatever you have to say? I know this floor was kind of your sleeping quarters. So in reality, you should be down here right about this time. Right behind it. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere around there you would hear something after the REM pod. Okay, so you asked if it could do it again right before you stopped that recording.
Yeah.
And then what? A minute after we turned off the recorders, it did it again?
Yeah. And I was sitting there thinking about the time response we got. And I know, like, when you're gonna ask me or I'm gonna ask you or whoever.
You just guessed 4:15.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been 450.
It could have been, yeah.
Just round it up.
Where do you think in this building we should go to have the best chance to communicate with the spirit?
That's where I looked for basement.
Can you give me a really clear response?
Can you tell me about room 313?
Woman.
What's the woman's name?
I don't know.
Is she lost?
All right. Day 2 started with Matt Fioli having another really great idea. It turned into essentially the mirror that kind of fucked Matt Fioli up. We wanted to pull it out here and see if it could really lead us in the direction we needed it to go, because regardless of the consequences we've gotten from the mirror, it's led us to the right direction multiple times, multiple investigations. But we put a twist on it. We asked Adam to do what Matt did last time, and I think it really worked out in our favor. And that's all I'm gonna say about that one.
Night 2 was fantastic. Having Jeff come in, bringing the Geo box in, that was awesome. Having that session actually up here where we are was really active. That seemed very active. And then once Jeff had to go, bringing Kimmel in to do some dumb shit with us, that was awesome. I was glad he was willing to do that. It was a horrible idea. I can't remember who came up with it. But no, it was a great idea, Matt. It really was. We had a great investigation. Lots of communication last night. Lots of responses and noises, and a lot of activity with the motion light that we had. That thing was really useful.
Places like this and places like Randolph County Infirmary, there's always going to be a story to be told, no matter if you've been there one time or 500 times. We just want to help others remember the forgotten.
Tonight we got our buddy Jeff Fent coming in. He's one of the most renowned ITC developers that we know. He's bringing in his Geo box, and I'm really excited to use it up in the dungeon. I think it might yield some awesome evidence.
I'm excited to give another go with it. We had the opportunity to use it at MadCon at Madison Seminary, MadCon 3. And on top of that, he's just extremely familiar with this building. He's been here so many times. And maybe having that familiarity or that familiar face in here with us may sort of help with the communication a little better. So I look forward to this.
I agree. Jeff, I appreciate you coming out. We're excited, man. We got to experience the Geo box a little bit at MadCon, and now you're here with us. You brought yours out, and what better person to have brought it out than someone who's volunteered here and spent tons of time in this building. So what kind of stands out about this building to you?
I'll be real truthful with you. I haven't been able to figure this building out. It's constantly
making noises when I'm here, doors shutting, kids running around in the hall, conversations going on. I think the first day I was here by myself working, I spent more time trying to see who was in the building than I did working on it. And
Right.
I had to like train myself to like just keep working because there's nobody here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about the GeoBox. Have you had a chance to use it here yet?
Yeah. It's done really well. There's a few areas in this building that it just talks.
Do you have any recommendations on where we should start with the box? I know we kind of talked about going up to the dungeon area.
Dungeon's been good. I've been up there with Adam with it and gotten a lot of responses, mainly over where the beds are set up, the bed
Yeah.
frames. That's a good spot.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. Well, thank you for coming back out tonight, Adam. I'm very curious to see how this building reacts with you in it. You know, you being the new owner and being in here so much, helping renovate and get this place back up to par. Do you have any ideas as far as something we could try that might spark up some activity?
I think we're still in the Wild West of this place. I really don't know. It's a different beast to itself. I think what's going to be interesting was with the energy you guys are all bringing in. All right, it's something new. How many people from Tennessee would they have actually met, right? That is something new all in itself. So I would say we just stay open-minded. Let's roll with whatever happens. Let's just go.
For sure.
Let's do this shit. Right now we're up in the dungeon, more specifically the chicken coop, and it's dubbed that name because the door you walk through has chicken wire in the door. This area particularly, though, was where they used to keep some of the most mentally ill patients, and crossing over in another time period, you would have had a nursery up here too. So those two time periods are going to clash. It's just, even just standing up here, guys, you're going to feel it. This is probably where a lot of the most emotion is kept.
Definitely. And Mr. Jeff, I think we'll let you get set up and see if the spirits want to start chatting with us a little bit. We do have REM pods all the way to the back. We have one in kind of between us, and then there's one in here, I think.
So like basically a straight line of REM pods jumping all the way back to the open area?
And then in here we have our periscopes in the floor, which read static electricity. And I mean, you can't really make those things go off if you tried. So, I don't know. We got our motion light back there too, so if that thing goes off, that'd be awesome.
Well, you know what's interesting?
That would be.
You know what's interesting? Out of everything I've seen done here, this is like you've set up like mines everywhere. Like it's. I don't think they can walk without tripping something. Hey, my friends are here. Uncle Jeff's here. They drove a long way. They came from Tennessee. They're very curious.
My name is Matt. It's nice to meet you. My name is Casey. It's nice to meet you.
Okay, I think it said nice to meet you. What I normally I record this in 2-minute clips with my phone, because when I play it back, you hear it, extremely clear.
Yeah.
So they acknowledge you. It's okay to talk to us.
I understand that you may be afraid, but understand that your story has spread far out of this state. People want to still learn about you. This is your time to share anything.
Go away. That sounds like it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was, looks like I heard help in it, I'm not sure at the end.
Yeah, I heard it there too.
Was that a kid?
It does sound like it.
We have lots of toys that we have spread out on the floor. If
If you get near them or try to touch them, they'll light up.
Or if you want, you can run all the way down the hallway and see how fast you can get down there and back. What's that noise?
Did something catch your attention too over there? Yep. I heard something like dragging.
We're sorry that you had to stay up here. I'm sure it was not a fun time. We truly want to help tell your story.
There's underlying voices there, and that you said dragging something. I thought it said dragging something.
There's definitely shadows going on back there. Oh shit, motion light.
Oh, shit. Whoa, motion light's on.
So we did hear something.
Right when you said, holy shit, I said shadow.
I swear to you, I saw it and all of a sudden.
Kimmel?
Can you use that device to tell us what we just saw?
I'm showing up.
Hell yeah.
There's no reason to be afraid. You can stay back there if you want. This is always the hardest part. Times have changed. There's a new leadership here. A lot of good people. Nothing bad is going to happen again.
Help me.
What do you need help with?
I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
I think Adam would probably be the first to tell you that you're free to come and go however you please. You're no longer bound or held here by any jurisdiction whatsoever.
Another shadow which is on the wall inside here.
Whoa! Did you not see that?
What is that? Better light?
I just saw something from the door frame like just pop in and out real quick.
Do you want to come in here?
Can you move towards us and communicate, please?
We are.
Who is we?
Are you watching that?
Oh, I am. Someone just blocked the other rib pod off a second ago.
Watch me.
We're watching.
I know this must be exciting. These guys are going to share your story with the world. So isn't that, well, how exciting is that we're bringing the world here?
Something. I need something. I need help, baby.
Then let us know. You're not trapped, you're free to leave. You know where the doors are. I can't open. I swear I can't open.
Yeah, I hear that.
The energy starting to feel like it's changing.
Yeah.
Oh, motion light.
Whoa, what was that?
The light just did something.
You asked me to? Oh my?
A female yelling, oh my. You understand.
Who's close? I don't know who's right on it, who's close to that scene there.
Thank you very much.
You're
welcome.
You got it?
I heard that. You're welcome.
Thank you. Did you know Mr. Hummel?
Was that a scream?
It's the second time I've heard that. How do you feel about Mr. Hummel?
He's evil.
Evil. He's evil.
Well, we want you to understand that Hummel is not in charge here anymore. Mr. Kimmel here, this is his building. What he says goes. You are not bound to any area.
That was a man's voice.
Yeah, that was Andrews. Can someone find us Hummel? Bring him up here?
What was that?
Or maybe.
You said, can someone find us Hummel? It sounded like I'm here.
That's what I
Is that what you heard? I'm here.
I'm here.
Wow.
I'm here.
If that's you, Hummel, I need to remind you that we have the power. We're on this side right now. Hummel, I want you to listen up right now. It's over. You are fired. Get on out of here. If you stay, we will mock you in every joke, every single day from here on out. There is nothing left for you.
For anyone else that's been oppressed by Hummel, our intent here, our purpose is to try to communicate with you, to give you some recognition and to help tell your story appropriately, peacefully. Will you come communicate with us?
Yes.
I heard something different.
Here they're coming.
Are you coming in here?
I swear I saw something move behind that pole, like
I thought I did too.
the actual lamp.
I've never heard him talk.
I know, me neither.
On any of these boxes up
Me
there.
neither. This
It
is
seems,
first.
I felt like that was who I was primarily getting communication with yesterday, from an aggressive standpoint, like, and that weird growl thing that was trying to, no, this was on the second floor below.
Right by the jail cell.
There's a female talking all through there.
And we're having a hard time seeing down there. Oh my God.
I caught that one good. Yep.
I couldn't even get the words out to turn the light.
It's a female.
You were mid-sentence, dude.
It did that to me last night too.
Go ahead and just push that lamp over.
Oh, that was solid right there.
I just saw something above the lamp.
So like what?
I heard light.
I saw like something above the lamp.
Oh!
Turn that on.
Oh yeah. Straight on too. Were you that way?
Yeah.
Good.
I wanted to say, can you turn it back on when it turns off? I don't have to say anything. I'm just
Are you trying to push it over? Maybe that's why it's...
Yeah.
And they read your mind.
It is sometimes like they know what we're thinking.
And thank you, by the way. This is helping us to communicate.
Touch that light?
Yes, I heard light at the end.
Touch that light.
The far one, down by the cupola.
Touch
There you
it.
go.
I'll do it or something.
Yeah, I heard you'll do it.
I'll do it, yeah.
Thank you.
It's weird how earlier we were talking about like the vibe was changing. It feels like it's like lessened from how it was like at least 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how to describe it. It was heavy when you called it, Casey. Like you felt the vibe change. Like it's like mellow right now.
I think it feels like they're still interested in us, but they're watching for him.
Watch, yep.
We got real intense when you guys called home.
Right. And we're not talking about it anymore, so we're like,
And that's probably very intense for anybody that's still here.
yeah, that emotion. That was a good session.
What a fantastic session.
Wow. That takes a lot of energy to do that. Not only to keep the communication going, what is it, 3, 4, 5 times
Yeah.
to flip the motion? Wow.
Jeff, how'd you feel about it?
What I experience every time I'm here. If it's not one thing, it's something else. No, that was pretty cool. Yeah. That light. Too bad you guys don't have a whole bunch of them.
That's something that definitely.
Yeah, I literally saw it at Walmart last night. And I said, I'm gonna get this.
Wow. I seriously, like the fucking building was like falling apart. You see, real? I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Panic, dude. I was like, it's fucking falling apart, dude.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I cannot wait to post that one on Facebook. We didn't release a joke trailer.
a joke trailer first. We're like Adam, like we'll start off with all of us, like the first time the motion light went off, we're like, holy shit, and all of a sudden it's just gonna go.
Bro, that is straight going into the documentary.
So Adam, we brought you up here. This room, I think we've all been drawn to. This is 313. And I know during the walkthrough, you kind of had a moment where I think we all noticed just kind of locking into this room, and then we ended up doing the same throughout the night. So,
With a very suggestive Estes method.
yes. And we were trying to figure out earlier today what could be a good tactic to do tonight as far as maybe getting a direction of how to take this investigation. So I came up with the idea to use the scrying mirror, and we'll try the connecting of energies on this table again in hopes that we'll get some sort of guidance or path to where this investigation needs to go. So I have the black mirror.
No, be cautious. We know the signs of what happened last time. Terry's watching. If something starts getting a little, let's cut it. You good with that?
Yep, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I think
stop it in any instance of lack of control or
Aggression.
getting a little too far in your mind, any of that stuff.
I was gonna say, I think you guys picked a perfect room for this. When I gave you guys the tour when we started, and it wasn't until it was brought to my attention, every time I give a tour and people walk into the jail cell, I find myself walking away, and I'm walking over here, and I'm like, why do I do that? You guys are in there, it's like I just walked away. I'm like, oh, here's the jail cell, and I walk right across to 313 here. You know, so
we're here in the room that we've been drawn to the past couple of days.
I know this is a stretch, and I realize that, but it almost to me kind of sounded like 313. It was very vague, but it was like the one was very concise in the middle, and it was extremely loud too. So.
What is it about this room that draws us in?
He's back.
Yep.
Do you know what's in this box?
do you understand what the boys are about to do right now?
And Adam. So we're on the same page.
Yeah, do you understand what Adam's about to do?
Should we open the box? I got cold chills looking at that thing. And then I saw the mirror.
Can you use this mirror and the energy inside of it to help guide us the rest of the way through this investigation for the rest of the time that we're here?
Did you hear that in your headphones? It's like,
Yeah, I thought it was the table.
the female sounded like it said four of you. Four of you. It's hot.
Oh shit.
It's hot. I hear that.
It's talking to you, bro.
I know.
Alright, here we go, boys.
Did one just stop? No. It's only something slowed down.
It just sounded like I said being raped.
Which is what we talked about yesterday with Hummel.
I was just gonna say, was it Hummel?
Yeah, let's ask. Was Hummel doing the raping?
He's out.
If it was going to happen to be in the jail cell, that would kind of make sense.
Or in the dungeon.
Or in the dungeon.
Save him.
Save who?
All of them. Try.
We have to know who needs help before we can try.
Come find me.
The robot in the jail cell is now doing blue and red and yellow.
He has a friend.
Who is the friend? Are they in the hallway?
Hummel.
So Hummel has a friend.
Terry. Watch it. Did somebody just tap my shoulder?
No.
Shut up. That's it, spirit box. Warning.
Who's giving us a warning?
Number 7. Mirror.
Where's the superintendent at right now?
Adam Kimmel.
Adam is the new superintendent. Where's the
Adam.
Where's the old superintendent?
It's kind of weird to me.
That might have said kill you.
It's weird to me how adamant he was earlier when we talked about this, of him being a part of this, and he's not. It's just strange. He was like adamant about
Out.
I need to be a part of this.
I think when he started, he felt something.
More coming.
Where'd that come from?
What? What came from what?
More
Oh, I don't know.
Said go away.
Is it my mind?
You weren't like repeating something you thought you heard in the spirit box?
He just randomly out of nowhere said more are coming.
Yeah, I know, that's weird.
Chapter.
You know, evil has a certain vocabulary to it. Like, we are legion.
Can we just address this for a minute?
Yeah, that's
Because the I'm not even going to tell you why, but you said that. You said the reason that I said more are coming is because the vocabulary of English, of evil, and then you said...
You help me.
Like you said,
Help.
legion. But you didn't even like really finish a train of thought there.
Or
But secondly, the fact that he said we are legion. Like, what were you?
What I'm getting at is, because I know this feels weird in this room. I'm trying to take the feels in and talk at the same time. Is getting back to what we said earlier, that it wants to play a certain game, but you play it back. You know, evil thinks it's legion. More are coming. It wants us to leave. The more we bring in, they lose their foothold. We are legion. I don't know why it all came to my mind. It's just, I don't know. But we are the legion, Hummel, and your friend. Many more will come.
Yeah, but that phrase is so tied.
It is.
Maybe we understand one another.
I haven't
Sit.
even told you why we're three of us are dumbfounded at what you're saying. Haven't even made any remarks to it whatsoever.
What?
I'm more intrigued by not saying anything yet.
My neck is killing me.
You want to switch off for a minute? And you put your hands on the table?
Yeah, what's going on?
I think you're going to hear some of this stuff.
Oddly enough, it wasn't really so much what you were saying.
No.
It's very, I mean, most of the stuff you were saying was very similar to what we experienced last night, to my session. It was saying the same shit. Leave, get out, you know, fuck, all the hateful stuff. But Kimmel was trying to focus in a little bit, and he just, like, blurted out, like, more are coming. And the three of us looked up, like, why is he? And I was like, well, I have to ask you, why'd you say that? He said, it was just on my mind. He said, I'm just trying to, like, you know, take in the energy and just say, you know, what's out there. And then he goes back to it and he says, when I said that, it was like the vocabulary of evil would be like, we are legion. He just said, we are legion, and then he stopped saying anything. And the three of us are like, is he really saying this right now? And then as you, right before you took your headphones off, I said, Kimmel, I haven't even told you why we're dumbfounded at the literal verbiage that you're saying. And I was like, it's very, I don't know if I said relevant or tied to this or whatever. And as soon as I said that, you said, it is. And then pulled your headphones off.
Back off. I'm going to describe, like, it feels weird. Like, I feel heavy. Like that's what I was trying to get those words out. Like, I had the idea in my head, but that's all I could get out. Like,
so I'll tell you now, since we were discussing it, Malik is, like you said, we are legion. That has been a very common thing that we have dealt with because of this negative legion, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like it all, it's like it can't just be one. It requires more.
You don't, yeah.
But that particular phrase has popped up many times. And for you to just spit it out with our Malik mirror and our 7 instances coming, it was just very, like, all three of us looked at each other like...
No, it is weird. I don't know what it was like, you know, I'm really trying to hone in on stuff, right? Like, I'm just, because this is my normal element, right? And I'm going with the flow of what the feel is, and that just, it blurted out. You're right, I couldn't even finish my sentence. I realized when I was done, I'm like, what the fuck did I just say? You know?
You kind of left us with a cliffhanger there.
Yeah.
Get out.
Oh, at one point I saw, like, Terry's face changing.
And that could also be very suggestive because you were having to tell him, like, Terry, look, watch.
No, like, as soon as I closed my eyes to do the Estes method is what I saw. It's hard to explain, like, it's just all blackness as I have my eyes closed, right? But, like, the first thing I started seeing was, like, the bottom part, like the bottom part of what I was visualizing was just flames and there's just blackness. But, like,
quite literally the reflection in the mirror. Terry's face with a flame in front of it.
What did I say that I was staring
at? Just turned away from watching the flame in the mirror.
I'm still doing it right now. And actually I'm kind of stuck on this weird little infinity thing that's going on. So I'm watching the flame here in the mirror, and then my watch face is reflecting it into the mirror, and I'm still watching it.
So this is all new to me, right? I've never used the scrying mirror and all that. So this is, and what we've done here is it's used to help you see, right? Give you something beyond visions, things like that.
And the technical way you're supposed to use it is staring into it, and it'll give you visions or whatever. We use ours a little bit differently, so
it's more of a portal for travel. But the mirror itself, like when we talk about what we're seeing when we focus in, it really, the mirror has nothing to do with that. That is just a practice that we've had for a while of really just, I mean, for lack of a better term, opening up your third eye, focusing in, and trusting what you see, and vocalizing it. Say out loud what you think you see, what's going on, and more often than not, it ties together too well.
Room
We're about to die over here.
Room 313. Recorder's on the table. Is there someone in here that wants to make communication? We feel compelled to the story of the multiple graves out back. Is there any information you can give us to help tell that story? You do understand that we are here literally peacefully, and we want to tell your story. I hear you over there. Up. You know, Adam has taken this property to preserve its history and to keep it here as opposed to being demolished. How would you feel if the building were demolished and the history of this place were no more? But that's not how you spell believe. You would feel bad?
Be live. Adverb. Definition. In due time. Or by and by.
Is there any certain names that we can pay respects to at the unmarked graves? You want to play some of that
I
back?
totally forgot it was running this.
What was that first little thing?
That's not funny, dude. It was the perilous. Is there someone in here that wants to make communication? We feel compelled to the story of the multiple graves out back. 30 again.
So, in its database, or we have to say it separately. It'd be very difficult.
Was that nothing there?
You do understand that we are here literally peacefully, and we want to tell your story. I hear you over there. I didn't hear anything in that. Again, there's so much shuffling and, you know, moving and sniffling.
I was just kind of curious what the...
Not Casper. Jasper.
I was just kind of curious with that question I asked about any certain names with the, we can pay respects to, because that was towards the end, right?
It was. Yeah, you asked if there's any...
There's so much shuffling and... How the fuck did that get recorded?
Elizabeth.
You asked about names.
If that says that on the recorder, I'm gonna shit.
Is there any certain names that we can pay respects to at the unmarked graves?
Bro.
Did you hear it? Names that we can pay respects to at the unmarked graves. Oh,
Elizabeth.
My God. Respects to at the unmarked graves. Informed. Is there any certain names that we can pay respects to at the unmarked graves? Elizabeth. It's
Yep.
after that first part.
Maybe we can find something to place out there for Elizabeth.
Make something to place them out for everybody up there.
I fully did not expect, because you were like, bro, if it says that on the recorder, I'm a shit. And I was like, yeah, it's not going to say that. And it says that.
What are the odds? Like, seriously, the mathematical probability
It
of
says
that's
that.
not even possible, really.
I'd say the probability is 30.
Yeah, 30,000.
Well, again, we thank you for communicating with us.
It does not feel heavy up here at all. No.
Feels, I have like a peaceful feeling.
Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier.
It's almost like they did all this stuff like to get your attention. And now I think that we're kind of onto something. They're like, all right.
Well, I think
y'all gotta finish this shit
they
out.
could have just figured out that we're being legit and that we actually do want to help and not just.
Yeah.
And I do feel like yesterday, my personal opinion, I felt like we were, like Hummel or whoever the sort of dominant aggressor up here was being very protective of time and words and like kind of controlling any communication.
Yeah,
and Kimmel might have nipped that shit in the bud though. That's really what I was getting with, like. And then telling any other spirits in here like, hey, you're not bound. You're free to come and go, and you don't have to listen to him. And this is my place, and we do things differently. And it does feel a lot different up here compared to last night.
We're trying to communicate. We're trying to communicate.
Can you tell me about room 313?
Woman.
Morning 2. Let's see if everybody's up.
What's up, Todd?
Did you sleep here last night?
I got scared.
I slept like shit. And our session last night like drained the fuck out of me. It was weird.
How do you feel about last night's sessions?
Last night was dope. That was a lot of fun. Having Jeff come in.
That session with Jeff was fucking fantastic, dude.
It was. It was all awesome. It just drained the hell out of me. It was a lot of energy.
And like my idea for like the dopest piece of paranormal investigative equipment. So glad I came up with that idea, the light bulb.
Yeah. That's sporadic. Just, I'm gonna pick this up.
Let's go see if Terry's awake yet.
Coming with you?
Yeah, come on, bud.
You guys are fucking worst.
How'd you sleep, buddy?
Fucking great.
How'd you sleep, bud?
Much better than the first night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a little grumpy yesterday morning.
Dude, I was very grumpy. And we had one meal yesterday. It was hot.
You're hot?
It was hot last night, man.
No, last night in our room it was cold.
Well, I had Wyatt in here in my bag with me.
I woke up and he was in the bed with Fioli.
I sure was. That hair is phenomenal.
Can we please get some real food today?
If you're a good boy.
Really, Dad?
Yeah. If we're good boys, we can have food.
Oh, we have
had a very strange diet thus far.
Yeah.
Diet.
It's just been fucking chips.
Bullshit.
And then Adam ordered us pizza. Shout out Adam.
Yeah.
Shout out Marcos. And then Fiole brought some chili, which I'm gonna have tonight.
I don't know if my stomach can handle the chili with all the chips and beef jerky I've eaten.
No, just put chips and beef jerky in the chili.
That'd be good as fuck.
That would be fired. But yeah, so now it's what are we on day 3 right now?
Yeah, technically.
I know we got some cool stuff planned for this evening. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it works.
I'm more excited to see how it works.
I'm more excited than both of you put together to see how that works.
All right, boys. On to day 3.
With everything that happened with room 313, all of us being drawn there, especially myself, while I was giving the tour to you guys. Here I am standing in that room, and you guys are in there, and I'm like, why am I even in this room right now? So using that room for the experiment was brilliant. And what was captured there was literally mind-blowing. And this is about owning that moment and even bringing in your own unique energy. Everybody brings in their own stuff. And I don't think that could have happened with anyone different, what we experienced there. I'm really glad you guys were able to come out and do this documentary. You know, we're only here for the blink of an eye. And I do think years and maybe even 100 years from now, people will look back at this research and maybe they'll call us pioneers. We push some boundaries here, and we probably are going to educate people that are not even born yet. But maybe you are watching this far into the future. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope that you can take something from it to lead the investigations farther. Find the right answer.
All these people that have unmarked graves or buried without family, that no one knows is buried here, like they don't have anything to show that they're there. So we had the idea to build a memorial for the forgotten. So we built the memorial, and we're gonna lay it out for them, and hopefully that'll give them some peace, and maybe some will be able to actually move on and not be stuck in a building that I'm sure a lot of them hated.
We're going to put up this memorial for all these nameless individuals that are out in this field and pay our respects.
I'll be honest with you guys, I'm really proud of this. I am. Like, if you think about obviously the intent of what we're trying to do here, but we really did just on an idea throw this thing together out of literally everything that was from this building. Like a sign from the building, painted with paint that was in the building, markers that were in the building, string, the wood that was around the building. I mean, as somebody that builds stuff, we talk about art. It's an art. It really is. To take something that meant nothing laying off on the side to actually mean something for possibly thousands of people that don't have anything. I think it's awesome.
So why do we build a memorial, Pioli?
Well, to kind of pay respect to all these forgotten people, all this massive amount of bodies that are supposed to be out here that have no name attached to them. We got the name Elizabeth after I asked whose name do they want us to write down, basically, or make memory of, and that came through twice, one through the Perilous and one through digital recorder. So
and we've got it written down on the sign right here.
It's not just for Elizabeth, it's for
exactly
all of them.
So I think that any other team that comes through here and gets a name or has a feeling that a name wants to get put on here, you got all this space, write the name down.
You had another idea as well, something about after they wrote the name, what you had something to do with the lamp.
Yeah, so essentially we're gonna leave a lamp here, and whenever you find a name or communicate with something that you think is a lost soul or a body that's out here or out there, you can light this lamp to either light their path out or just kind of as a comforting factor of no one's forgotten you. So just something that I think would maybe help some of the restless stuff going on here.
It's almost like take a step back for a second from why we're here and do something that we felt compelled to do based on our investigation itself.
it's almost a peaceful energy right now. I mean, it feels good. Well, fellas, I think we take a moment of silence for the forgotten. Kind of
seems very fitting.
Leave a memorial for them.
Hopefully it does bring some kind of peace where it's needed.
Hopefully next time we're here, there'll be a few more names on there.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
It actually feels like we did a good thing. You know what I mean? Like,
just aside from doing the investigation, and having an awesome location and filming and all that, like this actually, it's a little more fulfilling than
than anything
Even
else
to
we've
the
done.
fact of like I know we were talking about it earlier, but it just came through my head like, you know, Adam making a statement last night, like taking back his building. Like, this is my building, you're fired.
You know, that's really crazy. When I talked about everyone adding to the story, while you guys were here in this short amount of time, you got Elizabeth. Another team comes in, they connect with another cross comes out. And it slowly builds into giving names to the forgotten.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, like we said, they can get a marker and write whatever name they want. They can start filling the sign up. I mean, the sign's obviously going to last forever. But yeah, I don't know. You know, maybe it'll sit there for a while. We don't know.
I think it'll be just fine. It's amazing.
So I'm gonna leave my lantern here with you guys, and there's a can of kerosene up there. So, but did you already mention your idea? I was filming. I wasn't paying attention.
About lighting the light?
About lighting it every time?
Writing the name of the light. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And even if the light doesn't survive, still the name will. You know.
Well, boys, we're on our way home from a long ass week.
Long is a little bit of an understatement.
Spent a very long time in Fairfield County Infirmary, but it's all worth it. We got to learn about our story and to be told there. So,
Are you ready to say our chapter?
yeah.
Definitely glad I got to experience the investigation that we had. The feeling of peace and calmness that we got to experience, well, I say last night, very early this morning, was really cool. And I just look forward to people watching us tell our little tidbit of the story of Fairfield, and hopefully other people will continue to tell it as well.
How about you, bro?
I agree with 100%. You know, kind of like everyone's touched on, everyone's going to have a different story, a different experience. Ours was a bit more on the, I guess, heartfelt side. You know, we showed our respects, we made that monument. It was a very cool feeling, you know, and being able to be a part of that was amazing. So I hope that tradition will continue on with people writing the names on the sign and lighting the lantern. Maybe it'll keep going. I don't know, but that was very cool.
All in all, I think it was pretty successful. I know there were some times I think some of us got really probably all of us got discouraged from some of the activity. But then there was times when the activity ramped up and you're like, oh shit, that seems to be how it goes. But all in all, I think that it went fantastic. I think what we set out to do, we accomplished. And also, it's kind of the first time we left a documentary with like a sense of, accomplishment. Like we actually did something at the end that no one had done yet. You know, there's all these bodies out there that are buried that never had a proper burial, and now they have some sort of something that's for them.
Aside from it being oddly cold at times, oddly hot at times, and just an extremely long trip, we literally left out and we've been gone a week. So all of that comes into play with our families and our jobs and everything else. But I really, kind of touching on what Casey said, I really got a sense of accomplishment after this specific documentary. It's just, I don't know, something that feels at peace. You know, maybe just bringing recognition to all the people that are there that everyone kind of forgot about.
Hey, Elizabeth. Matt Fioli told us about you and wanted to say hello. Are you with us? Is there anything that you want to tell Matt or the Gateway guys, the crew that was here filming?
Matt said he gave him your name for the memorial.
You're most definitely not forgotten. If there's anything that you want to say to them or to Matt, now's the time to do it.
Gateway Paranormal's fucking scum. Don't investigate with them. And we're done, right? We're done? Yes. Are we getting an endorsement? My favorite Red Bull flavor here is Arctic Berry. It tastes like a candy straight out of your childhood. Nostalgia in a can. Come get some. You guys ready? We got a Red Bull sponsor right there. We good?
Are you coming?
Is it over? Are we getting crucified?
Okay. Well, first of all, we definitely want to give a big thanks to Kimmel and for the hospitality once again. And I think we all have something to say. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
God bless.
You guys ready to go upstairs? I woke up and he was in the bed with Fioli.
I sure was.
Okay.
Whoa, bro.
2020, Terry.